for visiting the channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe and click the bell icon to be notified of future videos.
Hey folks, Dan Ryan here. In today's installment of Leo and Dan Ryan look at generally inexpensive guitars, not always, but generally. We're looking at this Squier
Classic Vibe
Starcaster. And the Starcaster, I think, came out in the early 60s. And
this is the semi-hollow, not the Strat style.
Yeah. Well, the Starcaster they were meant to compete with like the 335 and maybe the 175. You know, really, from the beginning, Fender did what it did well, and Gibson did what they did well, and they tended to be two entirely different things. And so if you want a Gibson sound, you know, get a Gibson or an Epiphone. If you want a Fender sound, you know, you can get a Fender. There's a zillion Strat clones, and some of them are excellent guitars. But if you're going for that sound, then you know where the sound came from, because it came from the original Fenders. So
get a GNL.
Yeah, well, I have a GNL.
Do you?
Yeah. The thing, it's a really nice guitar, but it buzzes so bad, it hums so bad. That's why I got the ones with the Fishman Fluence pickups, because I couldn't, you know, I just hate trying to play around a hum. Anyway, that's a story for another day or never. Right now we're going to see if we can get this thing out of the box. It's taped up oddly. Try not to cut any fingers off.
Please don't cut any fingers off. I don't think you're in
That'd probably go viral.
the groove. Well, we're not trying to do that. Not for.
Well, I'm trying to figure out where the groove is.
That ain't it. It's not even on that side of the box.
You think it's the other side?
Well, yep, there it is.
This could be. I gotta tell you, this ain't feeling much better.
No, that ain't it. Let me give you a hand here, partner. Because I can see it. It's right here. See?
Yeah,
That's it, right? How's your finger all over here right now?
at the moment's okay.
Well, it may take a turn for the horse here. There you go.
Well, good news and bad news. Good news is that there's not another box inside this box as far as I can tell.
Musician's friends.
The bad news is that
There's a lot of other things inside that box.
there's a great deal of garbage.
Well, tell us how you really feel about Starcasters, Dan.
I don't think I've ever played one of these guitars in the original or the classic vibe.
I didn't think you'd mind. I got a left-handed one.
Yeah, I love a challenge. I'll come back next week when y'all have restrung it. So that at least I can play it upside down like
There you go.
Jimmy. I sense Alvin and the Chipmunks moment coming in. Now I think we're done. Okay, well, one thing I feel already is the two volume pots are not very well attached. They'll spring back. They feel like springs. Here, feel that. Don't turn it too far. Just barely. Feel that?
Yep.
Okay, so that's not a good thing.
No, we can just pop off the
well,
controls.
You gotta get a wrench in there and tighten up the back. But,
yeah. Well, you can put your finger back there.
Do we know what the top and sides are? This maple?
Fender stuff.
This looks like it could be maple. And the back the same. It actually has some nice flame. It's obviously a sunburst finish.
Would you show that on camera, please? Let me get a close-up of it. There you go.
So you can see the flame, and there is some flame on the top as well.
No, there's no flames. That's just grain.
Well, I mean,
Wood grain.
That's
Right.
that's what flame is, but it's just the kind of grain. But the finish is put on so that the grain will come out. Yes. It's odd because the volume controls have this springy thing going on, but both the tone controls are put on perfectly. Don't ask me why that is. Looks like a roasted maple neck, just because it's darker than just standard maple. And the neck and the fingerboard are the same. The fingerboard it's not one piece, but it is same wood as the neck itself. This is an interesting headstock, and you can see
Unique to the classic vibe. It doesn't have that little carve out on the regular Starcaster.
Yeah.
It's just plain.
it's got typical Fender tuners. They're they've been working for a long time generally, so I guess there's something good to them.
What about the nut housing?
It feels like it could be a bone nut. It's got kind of a rough feel to it. Plastic ones tend to feel very...
From here, the fingerboard radius looks like really curved.
Well, this is essentially like a Strat neck.
Okay.
Let's see, it looks like 22 frets, not 24 frets. The frets themselves are very nicely dressed. A little bit, a tiny bit of sharp edges up here. I guess the people doing the necks just about 15, they just start getting tired. Not a lot to it. 3-position switch, 2 Fender humbuckers. There is this, I don't know if you can see that, but the elements of the pickups are offset between the lower and higher strings. The lower ones are closer to the neck, and the higher ones are closer to the bridge. I guess we'll see what that means when we plug it in and put it through its paces. Don't see any flaws in the finish. No scuffs, no nicks. Both the top and bottom are bound, and the F-holes are actually bound. This is not painted. These are bound.
And I don't think we discussed it on camera what I paid for this guitar and why.
Okay.
But this was the Squier Classic Vibe, which is $449 if you buy it, and the regular Squier Starcaster is $299. This one was an open box, and I got it for $299, so I went ahead and bought the Classic Vibe.
Yeah, well, it's not unattractive guitar at all. Like if you're looking at this part, it's like, oh, it's a 335. If you're looking at this part, it's like, oh, it's a Stratocaster. It's kind of hard to blend those two things in your head, but Fender did it, so let it be on their heads. So anyway, we're going to stop now. I'm going to tune it up, try the pickups out, and we'll be back momentarily. Thanks. Hey folks, today we are looking at this Fender Squier Classic Vibe Starcaster in Sunburst, and we've already gone through the appearance. We mentioned these pickups have a kind of very unique layout, and half of the elements, the high half, are closer to the bridge, and then the low half are closer to the neck. And I was wondering how that was going to sound, and actually it sounds pretty nice, because you get kind of a combination of the darkness of say a 335, but you get some of that Fender chime. So let's just play.
It's the neck pickup.
Yeah, this is the neck pickup. A free nothing to whoever can identify that top signature. So far, it sounds a little better for a rhythm guitar than a lead guitar, which generally I don't ever make that distinction. Guitar is a guitar, but playing lead lines, they're not jumping out the way I would like. So that's both pickups, and now here we have the bridge pickup. Oh, and before we forget, Gunter, this is for you. So, Bortzy and E. Let's see what we get. Not bad. 6 or 7, I think. Gotta be careful with these knobs here because they just feel a little squirrely. It's very strange to play what's very much like a Stratocaster neck on something that is very much like a 335 in other ways.
And a semi-hollow with a bolt-on neck is a kind of a strange animal too.
Yeah. It's actually a very nice guitar. A strange animal, I will say. But anyway, there you have it. The Fender
Squier
Classic Vibe Starcaster in Sunburst. Pretty nice guitar in terms of just construction, etc. So we're going to stop now one more time, make sure we're still in tune, and play something for you. We'll be right back. Hey folks, today we're looking at this Fender Squier something Vibe. Classic Vibe Starcaster. Semi-hollow body. Kind of a cross between a 335 and a Strat. And today we have a new provider for the backing track, and it's a group called Guitar Maps Backing Tracks, and this is their smooth, sexy groove guitar backing track in A minor. And so let's see what we get. Fender Squier Classic Vibe Starcaster in Sunburst. It really is kind of like playing a Strat neck and a 335 guitar.
You know, Dan, I was just noticing there is one guitar here that's kind of like that, and it's that Languedoc copy.
Yeah.
You know,
which
Firefly.
which was intended to be, you know, a one-off for a one person.
Right.
And this is a very nice guitar. In terms of its construction, you know, you can tell the difference between a close to $500 guitar and a $200 guitar. Everything about this is just, except for these two switches here, which I can't explain. But the binding, everything, you know, everything is just, you know, professionally done. You know, got no complaints. Even the bolt-on neck that, you know, Fender probably, you know, I don't know how many necks they made, but, you know, in the millions, I'm sure. So why wouldn't you want? You just take the necks you're already making and bolt them onto a different body with different characteristics. So that makes a certain amount of commercial sense. The fact that you got a hardtail and a tune-o-matic, that's not, you know, the kind of, this is way more Gibson than Fender in terms of, you know, design. But they did it right, works well. These pickups are very interesting. You know, you'd have to kind of work with them for a while to see how they differ from pickups that are just, you know, 6 elements straight across. But you know, they sound nice. And they really sound nice just on a clean sound, like you're doing rhythm. So anyway, there you have it. The Fender Squier Classic Vibe Starcaster. And I'm Dan Ryan. Leo Ryan's behind the camera. We hope that you will like and subscribe. Click the bell icon to be reminded of our future videos. And we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.